Frank Haley, CJF.
All right, Frank, thank you much. Okay, let's welcome our first guest of the day. She's a familiar sight around here. Shannon Jackson is a spokesperson for PNM. Good to see you, Shannon. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you doing?
You've been on media lately. I've seen you on TV a couple times.
Sure. A variety of topics people are asking
yes,
about.
You keep this up. I'm going to ask you for your autograph. You'll be a celebrity here.
I think you're that person. You're the celebrity in the room.
Okay, well, let's talk about the summer PNM is having.
Sure.
And everybody's running their air conditioning and everything. Has PNM had some really peak power days where we've kind of pinned the meter? And
you know, Larry, so the summer heat, the summer high temperatures are a little bit later this year than they were last year.
Yes.
You know, it kind of, summer almost seemed like it started about a month late, right?
It did.
So we have seen the high temperatures as of very recently, but, you know, we expect to see some more of that in August.
We're coming into kind of a monsoon weather pattern, especially this weekend.
Yeah.
This is when PNM is on high alert because this is when problems happen, power goes down and things like that.
It is. It's certainly a busy season for PNM, you know, between the high temperatures and all of the air conditioners working and the power grid being so loaded with demand. But also at the same time with the monsoon season coming, there's a lot of storms that hit us in the afternoons and in the evenings, and a lot of lightning, and you know, we just have a lot of crews that are out in the field that are ready to respond. A lot of times lightning strikes will hit power poles or things like that, and sometimes that can cause power outages. And certainly that's not something you would ever want to touch if anyone were to ever see a down power line. Things like that. But yes, we have a lot of crews that are out and ready to respond if that were to happen.
All right, so people have been running their air conditioning and running up pretty good sized bills. Is there any way that PNM is offering to help pay these higher bills?
So I think first I'd like to say, if it's not us personally, I think we all know somebody who just needs a hand up sometimes, right? And so the PNM Good Neighbor Fund, what that does is it is for income eligible customers who are facing extreme financial hardship. And that could be something like a car accident, a vehicle accident, a sudden medical emergency, or maybe even a sudden loss of jobs or something like that. And what this program does is it pays for customer bills either fully or in part, and kind of helps relieve them from worrying about something like that.
So how do you contribute to the Good Neighbor Fund?
Sure. Well, let me mention real quickly too, last year alone, the PNM Good Neighbor Fund, with about $460,000 is what we paid in electric bills for about 4,000 New Mexican families who were in dire need of just a little bit of help. And so that's exactly what this program does. You know, it prevents people from having to worry about something when they're facing something so unexpected and extreme when it comes to, you know, financial struggles.
Sure.
So if that's something that anyone is able to donate, if they're fortunate enough not to be in that position and they just want to lend out, you know, a helping hand to their neighbors or to their friends who might need it most, what people can do is they can either they can look at their PNM bill and they get it in the mail each month, and they can either round it up to the nearest dollar each month. They can sign up to do that, or you can just fill in the amount of your choice. And that money will go directly to customers in need, or you can certainly call us at PNM or go on to PNM.com and do that. You know, I will also mention that this program is funded by the generosity of our employees and our shareholders and certainly our customers statewide. And for every dollar that is donated by anybody to this program, our shareholders actually match it dollar for dollar. So all of that goes towards families who are in need.
Very nice. Let's talk about a few money-saving ideas for summertime from PNM. Then we're going to talk about a scam that's going on.
Sure.
Let's do the money-saving thing first. Some tips on cooling your home.
So I think everybody kind of looks for practical ways that they can save energy and money in their home, right? Some things that we can do right now. So some of those things include when you leave for work during the day, perhaps, close your windows and your blinds. Don't have that sun peeking into your home and heating up your home and then unnecessarily having your air conditioner kick on. So if nobody's home, don't pay to air condition a home when it's empty, right?
Right.
Some other things that people can do is consider using a programmable thermostat. Adjusting that thermostat when nobody's home, you want to put it higher. When you're home, you might want to have it a little bit more comfortable and have it a little bit cooler. But instead of trying to remember to do that, think about using a programmable thermostat to automatically do that work for you. Some other things that you can do is avoid using heat generating appliances until later in the evening when it's not so hot. So consider grilling outside instead of using your oven, or doing dishes or laundry or things like that until a little bit later in the evening, again preventing your home from heating up.
I don't expect you to comment on this, but I just came back from Southern California. They're running commercials out there, the power company, that's called Power Down, from 4 to 9 p.m. They want people there to not use as much electricity during those hours. You're probably familiar with that campaign.
Not with that particular one, but we have some similar ones like that. And that's basically because when power is being demanded the most of customers, it's in the early afternoon into the early evening, right? It's when people are getting home, it's when the temperatures are at the highest, and people want to feel the most comfortable. So if you think about how many refrigerated air units are out there that uses a significant amount more of electricity than evaporative or swamp coolers, everyone's running it all at the same time, right? And so that's what that program is kind of doing. It's asking people to volunteer to reduce the amount of your energy consumption by just lowering your thermostat just a little bit.
Yeah, they called it Power Down 4 to 9.
Right.
4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And I can also say that here in New Mexico, for every degree higher that you are able to comfortably set your thermostat, you're going to save anywhere between 2 and 4% for every single degree higher that you set that on your PNM bill.
Okay, Shannon, let's talk about a little scam that's running around out there, and people are getting phone calls. And talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, so scammers are the worst, right? I mean, scammers are the absolute worst just because they are scamming customers and people out of their hard-earned money. And we just, a few moments ago, talked about the PNM Good Neighbor Fund. We work hard for our money, everybody does, right? And to be scammed over feels awful. And so what's happening now that we're seeing, and it's not a new scam, but unfortunately it continues, is fraudsters or scammers continue to call customers, business and residential customers, and they pretend to be us, and they demand to have customers pay for their past due, in quotes, electricity bill, and they say that they have to pay it within the hour over the phone with a prepaid gift card. That is an absolute scam. And so for residential customers, we are seeing them demanding anywhere between a couple of $100s up to about $500 or $600. And for commercial customers, we're seeing even up to $5,000 that they're demanding.
Wow.
And most people notice that red flag. PNM sometimes does call customers. We do call customers sometimes who are past due on their bills, but scammers never know who that is. How would they know who that is?
Sure.
But the most obvious sign that it's a scam is if anyone ever asks you to pay for your electric bill with a prepaid gift card over the phone, it's a scam. Do not do that.
Yeah, PNM never does that.
We would never do that.
Good. Okay. Good. High alert there.
Yes, definitely.
That keeps going on. Well, all right. Well, hang in there for the summer. We'll probably see you in the fall, right, Shannon?
Sure. Anytime.
Good to see you again. Shannon Jackson with PNM. Here on Coffee and Conversation for you today, 1st of August, and we'll be back with more Coffee and Conversation in just a moment.